I'm Zack, and this is my odd garage. This is my 1950 International Harvester Farmall M tractor. The Farmall M, along with the Farmall A, B, and H, were introduced back in 1939. They made the M all the way up till 1953, and it was followed up with the MD models, MV, and MDV models. So they stopped making the M, but they started producing those models. This M has a 248 cubic inch overhead valve 4-cylinder gas engine. Originally it came with a 6-volt charging system. I recently converted it over to 12 volts. It's a little bit more reliable, more modern. It starts up quite a lot easier than with the 6-volt system. This has a 6-speed gearbox, 5 forward gears and 1 reverse gear. I bought this in Grand Island, New York, which is near Buffalo. This is my 1987 Pontiac Fiero. They made these between 1984 and 1988. GM made about 300,000 of them. Cool fact about the Fiero, they only made roughly 3,000 that were blue. So this is within that 1% that are actually blue, which is pretty cool when I got it. Mine is the 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder gas engine. It's got a 5-speed manual transmission. I got this down near Erie, Pennsylvania. The guy bought them from a lady whose husband passed away. He actually had 10 of these. I don't know if you could see it, but in this corner, I have the number 6 out of 10, which was pretty funny story. This is my truck. It's a 2003 Ford F-250 Super Duty. It's got the 6.8 liter Triton V10 gas engine. Got an automatic transmission, 4-wheel drive, and it is the 1.5 cab. I got this down in Lakewood, New York. This is my daily driver. It's a 2014 Volkswagen Jetta Sport Wagon TDI. Volkswagen made this model between 2009 and 2014. In 2014, they switched from the Jetta over to the Golf Sport Wagon. This one's got a 2.0 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel engine. Mine has a 6-speed manual, which gets roughly 35 plus miles to the gallon, which is really good. This particular car was actually part of the Volkswagen scandal back in 2015, and Volkswagen bought them all back, fixed their issue, and sold them back to dealers. The guy I bought this from bought it back from a dealer back in 2018. I bought this in Syracuse, New York. Next to my Farmall M, I got my 2005 Suzuki GS500F street bike. What's left of it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Currently, the engine is pulled out of it. I have it over there. We'll show you guys in a minute. They made this model between 2004 and 2009. They changed the body style in 2010 model, and they made that all the way up till 2016. It has a 487cc twin 4-stroke engine with double overhead cams. It's got a 6-speed transmission with dual carburetor setup. I got this in Rochester, New York. As promised, here's the engine out of the Suzuki. I had some problems with it running right, and I diagnosed that the piston rings went bad, so I pulled the engine out, rebuilt the entire thing. I'm working on putting together a montage that'll be on the channel at some point as well. I did a lot of filming of that process for anyone who's interested out there. I'm waiting on some shims to put it back into the bike, and hopefully it'll run right from now on. This is my 1986 Honda XL600R. They made these between 1983 and 1987. This particular model, I believe that Honda made the XL600 all the way up till 2000, but they changed the particular look of this after 1987. It has a 589cc single-cylinder 4-stroke engine. It's got dual carburetor, kind of an enduro style bike. I ride it more as a dirt bike. I don't have it registered for the road. The tires clearly are for the dirt It's got a 5-speed manual transmission. You can tell it's an 86 because of its gold wheels. They made those only in 86. I got this down near the PA border in Limestone, New York. I'm sitting on my 1986 Ford LGT 17H lawn tractor. They made these between 1983 and 1986. As you can tell nowadays, you don't really see Ford lawn tractors around very much because they stopped making them back in the 90s. They were very popular back in the 80s up to the 90s, but eventually they just stopped making them. This one's got a 691cc 2-cylinder Kohler 17 horsepower engine. Got a 4-speed hydrostatic transmission, which is pretty cool. It drives a hydraulic system, and the mower deck actually lifts and lowers hydraulically, which is pretty cool. I got this in Bliss, New York. I'm here with my 1921 Jaeger hit-miss engine. Jaeger was actually made by a company called Hercules. Normally the Hercules engines were actually red, but when Jaeger started doing business with Hercules, they painted their engines this nice light blue color. As I said, it's a 1921. Between 1920 and 1922-23, they put these particular engines inside concrete mixers. So this is a single cylinder, 2 horsepower, runs at 550 RPM. This you can run on gas or kerosene actually, and it is water cooled. You put the water in this tank up here and it cools the single cylinder down here. I know it's hard to see now. In later videos we will bring out all of my vehicles individually and we'll do a full rundown on each one. So you'll be able to see this better, and same with the others. I got this particular engine down in Attica, New York. Above me, we have my 1950s Alcor Super Sailfish Mark II. This particular boat is very similar to the Sunfish, which is a more popular and more well-known sailboat. It's a fiberglass boat. It doesn't have a cabin or like a deck hole to put your feet in. It's just a flat deck. The story behind this was probably 5 or 6 years ago. We were at our family friend's lake house, putting the boat in the water, and we came back later to find the back corner was completely cut off and the boat was basically sinking in the water there. So obviously they didn't want the boat anymore, and I decided to take it on as a project. I completely separated the hull and the deck. As you can see, it's clamped together currently. I patched the hole with the help of one of my friends. We patched that hole back up, and now all there's left to do is to put in the expandable foam inside the hole, and then we can fiberglass all the way back around, and it should be all sealed up. I just have a few quick shout outs for you guys. First one, Mickey, thank you for editing this video. Dennis for the channel name creds. It was quite the process to figure out a good name for this channel. Thanks to Jill for making the logo and banner on the YouTube. And then thanks to my family for supporting me and all my friends as well. I'm hoping this is something that blows up, and I hope you guys watch more videos as they come. Thanks. Thanks guys for tuning in and watching the first video on my odd garage. For more to come, hit that subscribe button and get notified every time I make a video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, fill out some comments, and tune in for future content. Thanks guys.